Yo. Oh, shoot. What up, space? Oh, man. I can tell this is gonna be one heck of a live stream. First of all, hold on. Let me make sure things are working out as I am hoping it is. No echoes or none of that. Hold on. First of all, hold on. Let me make sure things are working out as I am hoping it is. No echoes or none of that. Hold on. Okay. Just wanted to make sure that the audio and my voice is better balanced out. I remember trying to live stream on Twitch. I keep having an echo audio on. That's definitely my bad. And I noticed that, yeah, unfortunately my wallpaper's a bit laggy. That's... Can I adjust that on the fly? Hold on. No, I can. Not at the moment. Shoot. Well, that's something I'm gonna have to learn next time I live stream. Alright, that's fine. Well, either way, hi everyone. So my 5 viewers watching, thanks. Thanks for dropping in to say hi. Just making sure that the music background is doing good. Yep, what's up guys? I'm just here to... It's just a chill stream. I'm not really going to be doing much at the moment, but I just wanted to test out YouTube's live stream specifically because I have done... what was it? I have used Twitch before. I keep screwing it up here and there, but... Thankfully, I wanted to try it out again, but this time on YouTube's side and see what I can do to fix any of the bugs so that it probably works out next stream. But yeah, thanks for showing up even for a minute. Yeah, I was what's up, Goji? I wish I could have the chat box on YouTube for the stream here. What's up, Natural? I have to have my own live stream on. I have to have its own tab on just so I can see the chat. I'll see if I can figure it out later. Yeah, it's probably something I'm gonna have to look into later. No, not at the moment. That's fine. Yeah, I didn't want to I was trying to consider doing something more more cinematic, more epic this first live stream, but unfortunately I got the allergies going on, or I don't know, it's probably the cold or something, but oy vey. Like, I don't feel bad, it's pretty mild, but gosh dang it, I just feel like mentally lazy. Although, what else is new? Congrats on the new engagement. I dig the DBZ movie scanner. I give you credit for getting into that considering how all over. Yeah. Well, thank you, Goji. And also, what's up, Okara? But yeah, I was gonna do something more like special today, but man, I'm just not feeling it. So I'm just relaxing and plus, I thought it makes more sense to live stream on YouTube than Twitch because since that's where I'm getting most of the viewership with my channel. Because I only did Twitch more so as a pastime, and that was before I did the videos for my Dragon Ball content. So I thought, why not just use this chance as an experiment on the things. Actually, can I just... Yeah, I can still do it on the fly. Okay. Yeah, if, I could definitely add something different just to make not... Just to not make the live stream a bit laggy. Although, thankfully, there's nothing crazy going on. Yeah, thanks everybody for the support for my videos. Yeah, it was it was not even meant to be an actual like project. It was meant to be just like a one-time thing. Cause if you see my channel, you notice there's the what's up, Stride? Hey, it's my best rival. Or okay, sorry, there's another rival out there, but regarding Dragon Ball scaling, it's my nemesis, the boy Stride. I saw the Godzilla's Eclipse. What's your favorite Godzilla? Godzilla iteration? Who would be my favorite? I probably... maybe it's a bit cliche to say, but I kind of want to say Heisei, because the Showa is, like, goofy, but it's still adorable. in the like, in an entertaining way. But the Heisei, he has, like, this weird balance of, like, being cool, but also, like, entertainingly hilarious. So... yeah, I still need more exposure looking into the other versions, but I probably want to say Heisei. I feel like he's more consistent throughout, whereas the Showa, he's like one film he's the evil, and then the next part he's just kid friendly, so it's kind of weird. So yeah, I think it just depends on which film or like project he's in for the Showa era, but yeah. And also, it can't be a live stream without the streamer having some drink or snacks on him. When are you... so when you're done with all the movie villains, then are you planning to do a video where you rank them from weakest to strongest? That's... I'm kind of torn on what I want to do. Either I'm going to have that be a live stream... content only, where I'm just gonna live stream it, but then post it as like a video, like as a highlight for the channel, or I can just do a an actual video. It's hard for me to decide which one, because I know Chuck did his own version, and that's already popular as it is. And I think his video pretty much summed up, like, the... I don't want to say... I know I could still include my own bits and pieces of what I think of the placement, but in terms of just... like, if someone who's new to the characters want to see a general view as to where they would be placed at, I feel like Chuck's video just does it pretty nicely. So that's why I just feel like it's kind of hard for me to do it. And also, I still have to do my Broly video, because I don't want to be like... I don't want to blue ball anybody and just be like, oh, hey, what about Broly? Oh, well, I'll tell you when my next video comes out. It's like, ah, come on. Like, I don't want to do that to people. So that's why it's kind of hard for me to do that. So that's why I'm kind of torn. I might do that as a poll. Ask everybody in general if I should do an actual video of it, or just do a live stream. Both can work either way. And I'll definitely emphasize the point that it's a very like meta tier list. Like, it's not gonna be concrete. I would hope people understand it's not concrete, but yeah. Hold on, let me change the audio of the music real quick. Yeah, sure, let's go with this one. As of right now, who's your favorite scaling YouTuber? I mean, Chuck does pretty good in terms of talking more than just one series, unlike me, who's just currently just Dragon Ball. Uh, who was it? 6 is pretty good. I actually don't mind his talking about his Jujutsu Kaisen. I know there was someone else specifically. I can't remember who. Oh, I forgot his name. I know there was one specific. I also got a shout out Lonk's takes because apparently we both it was like by coincidence. I didn't even realize it, but yeah, I remember when I posted my cooler video, I'm pretty sure he made his own like a few months or weeks prior to mine. So I kind of felt bad because I felt like his mine kind of overshadowed his, and that wasn't my intention. So that's definitely my bad on him. But this was pretty. I like some of his content as well. I don't really have like a number one, like, oh, you must talk to this guy. You must check out all the videos, give him all the slaps, all the subs, you know. But I kind of respect the you know the ones doing the niche type of scaling and stuff. So. Oh yeah, sorry, I was gonna read this one. With the amount of times you had to clarify the movies don't scale with GT, will you make a GT Goku video? That one too. Yeah, that one I'm still hesitating if I even want to, because that's gonna be a nightmare to deal with, cause who was it? Well, I mean, for one, you, Draconic, did your own video. But, and also technically Chuck did his own, or mostly the Super Saiyan form, but my issue when it comes to GT scaling is that no matter what I say, I'm gonna be wrong. That's the whole problem I have with it. Because, okay, let me just be honest with everybody here. People would not stop hyping up GT. Like, I don't, okay, if you like the series, go right ahead. I don't care. That's not my problem. That's not really my beef. I don't really, whatever. But I don't understand why whenever new material is being made for Dragon Ball in general, that somehow upscales GT, even though there's zero connection. Like, and that's the funny thing, is that the viewers who, or like the fans who like GT, are totally okay with accepting that logic for other franchises. But once it applies to GT, they're just like, nah, that doesn't count. That's dumb. Like, for example, like Godzilla. Let's say with Godzilla, it's like, okay, let's, like, this is like not an actual take, but let's just assume, like, just based off evidence, Showa era Godzilla, you know, he's not even the same Godzilla from all the other ones coming after him. Let's just say Showa era Godzilla is just planet level, all right? He's Mach speed, whatever. And then, let's say the new material comes out, like, let's just say Legendary Godzilla. And then let's just say, oh, well, this new movie comes out and he did this one feat. He's now multi-solar system level. For some reason, because of nostalgia or because of bias or some other reason, he's like, well, because Godzilla did this one technique that every other Godzilla uses, it therefore connects to Showa era Godzilla. So therefore, he scales to all those other versions of himself. So therefore, Showa Godzilla is also multi-solar system. Like, do you notice how much mental gymnastics you have to do just so you can upscale this one version of Godzilla that has zero connection other than just brand, I guess? So, and the thing is that some of these fans will easily just be like, nah, this Godzilla is not the same with this Godzilla, so they scale differently. They're both strong, but they do not, like, scale to one another. They're their own different versions entirely. Unless there's some crossover or whatever, maybe. But in terms of just separate continuities, they're their own character, their own versions. No matter what, you cannot scale them to one another. So no, Showa Godzilla is planet level, Legendary is multi-solar system, whatever. And fans do not have a problem with that. But once you talk about GT, I come in and say, hey guys, you guys say A, B, and C as proof that GT scales in the movies, blah, 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 blah. It scales above Super, etc., etc. But then I come in and say, like, well, this evidence you just showed is wrong because of this. Your author, Koyama, disagreed with his own logic. And then these references are just that. They're references. They're not actual direct one-to-one acknowledgement. But the GT fans are still like, nah, you're just stupid, Numbs. You don't know what you're talking about. You're not a real fan. You're just an idiot. And that's why it's hard for me to be like, should I actually have the balls to actually make a GT video of Goku and just prove why he's still strong, but I'm not overhyping him like the GT fan base wants us to believe. Like, and that's the thing. I wish I didn't. I'm sorry I had to make a long tangent about this, but like, that's literally how long of a detailed explanation I have to emphasize to these people who don't even know what I'm talking about, and then the people who do know what they're talking about or what I am talking about and still disagree. It's so dumb. It's so annoying. And I could also play devil's advocate. I could just be like, actually, you know what? He does scale to the movies. But even if I do that, people still are gonna hate on me. They're like, nah, Numbs, you downplayed him still. He's out reversal, bro. You dumb idiot. Oh my gosh. It's so annoying. Hold on, is the background music loud enough, or just making sure I didn't make it too muted? Saying Skull, yeah, and then I was gonna bring him up. So I actually one time debated a guy. The debate was pretty. It was pretty chill. It wasn't, it wasn't heated or what was it? What's the word I'm looking for? It wasn't salty. It wasn't cringe. It was just pretty chill. But the guy was basically trying to argue. Right. Okay. So I remember. It was. If you notice, I forgot to even bring it up. But yeah, the first video I did power scaling related was the Evil Goku versus Cell video. It was just because I thought, okay, I need to test the waters. Like, can I replicate the style of people? Can I present myself well, etc. And plus, it was just a nice tribute of a fan series that I grew up watching and stuff. So I thought, yeah, why not? We were just talking about this Evil Goku being strong and stuff, but he was basically arguing why Evil Goku, who correlates to GT scaling, how can he be strong enough, especially after 100 years of training, to be relative to super scaling? And so basically the main gist is that he was trying to argue using all the argument. I'm not joking. Here's the thing. I do not even want to watch Saiyan Scholar's video on the GT scaling in general. But every single counter or every single claim the guy tried to say was all basically copy and pasted from every single GT fanboy that uses to upscale GT over Super. And every single claim he said, I was able to nicely explain an alternative. I wasn't trying to debunk him exactly, but just make an extension. Like, okay, here's an alternate interpretation of how those statements or evidence can make sense without debunking or really downplaying GT. And the funny thing is, I didn't even come like with prep. I literally just off my head, because there were a few things even I wasn't aware of, but even then I still was able to like pretty much win and counter argue everything he has to say about GT scaling. And I'm just baffled that, yeah, everything that people preach about is usually coming from Saiyan Scholar's video or from some other misinterpreted, I guess, awareness that's not from GT or that's overly misunderstood from the writing of GT. So that's why it's kind of annoying to just be like, ugh, do I really want to do a GT video that just proves everybody wrong? It's so annoying. He says that Change State Goku is the strongest version of Goku, and he offers no evidence. And Infinite Multiplier, yeah. He said that the CT17's opening is apparently AP based. Oh yeah, the portal to hell, yeah. Yeah, that's always a weird. I never understood that. Like, it's not like a "you're dumb" type of insult. That's more of a like, how did you come up with that argument? But yeah, I mean, as you can see, I can see some of you guys agree that GT scaling is a bit overhyped, I guess. But and that's the reason why for my Hirudegarn video, especially since it was the last video or the last character in terms of the villain roster, it was hard for me to, because another thing I keep trying to emphasize to everybody is like, I want these videos to be for any newcomers who's kind of new to the series, or just fans who want to get a nice introduction to power scaling and just get a general overview of a character throughout the entire franchise's run. But at the same time, I want for any new viewers who are coming back to watch my videos not feel like I'm repeating or regurgitating the same information. I want each video to be unique or refreshing, because if I keep saying, hey guys, in Tenkaichi 2 this thing happened, in the next video, hey guys, in Tenkaichi 2, and in the next video, hey guys, it's gonna get repetitive and boring. It's hard for me to make that perfect balance of refreshing but also unique and distinguishable compared to all my other videos. That's why it's hard for me to structure these videos completely different. That's why it's kind of noticeably the same, because I want to at least emphasize some sort of narrative for the characters, characterization, or just notice the growth or presentation of the character. So that's why for Hirudegarn, I'm just like, okay guys, I made 9 videos explaining in, like, I would like to think, a nice detailed explanation that why GT scaling does not connect to movie scaling because of all the evidence presented throughout the entire franchise. And I'm just like, bro, I'm tired of restating the same information for Hirudegarn. Let me just, as a joke, be like, hey guys, multiverse theory though, and then that's it. Just call it a day. I'm kind of upset that video somehow blew up more than my my Slug video, bro. My boy Slug, he's crying in the corner. Dude, I made 2 polls assuming that you guys would like view more interest in Slug, but nah, Hirudegarn somehow bodied his view counts. That's why I felt like I felt a bit what's the word? I'm embarrassed, I guess. Because I generally thought that nobody was going to really watch it, sort of like with my Dr. Wheeler video. But nah, y'all enjoyed it. That's why I was just like, oh, maybe I could have put more explanations as to the whole GT does not work, or Hirudegarn does scale probably higher relative to Nimba maybe. But that's why I felt a bit bad. That's why I'm like, oh man, maybe I should have put a little bit more effort. That's definitely my fault. But yeah, that's why it's hard for me to that's why it was hard for me to really make these videos not too long, because even I agree that although I had fun making the Janemba video, 40 minutes is long. That's why I was glad I was able to shorten down Hirudegarn to just 20 minutes. But if I try to be like, hey guys, GT scaling does not work, but multiverse there, it probably would have dropped, it would have increased the video for Hirudegarn to like 30 minutes. I feel like it would have dragged on. That's what I'm trying to do, is like, I want my videos to be coherent. It doesn't drag on. No unnecessary information, unless it's maybe a gag, but that's about it. But again, it's so hard for me to make this perfect balance of like making it informative, entertaining, unique, different, etc., etc. So to do an entire GT video, and especially when I had to be like, okay, guys, well, let me give you a basis as to where GT Goku starts. I had to talk about the original Dragon Ball, the anime Dragon Ball, and then I had to explain, oh, well, does the movies work? Does it not? It's like, I can guarantee you if I did do a GT video, it's gonna be probably 40 minutes as well. I don't want to say an hour. I could probably summarize it better, especially since it's only like 60 minutes, but you know. Anyways, let me catch up with the chat. Mew statement, I prefer to debunk him by getting full context of Mew statement. Yeah. Would you like to do from different anime series? That's probably gonna be an extension of me talking about other franchises in general, because I don't. Again, it wasn't my intention to do a villain marathon. It's just that I thought that, oh well, my cooler video somehow did great. It blew up, even though I didn't want it to, but I'm grateful. But then after I noticed scrolling throughout YouTube, I was like, oh, there are no videos. I mean, maybe there's videos talking about the character, but there's no actual videos that go in full detail of to how strong these villains are without, you know, having to include GT, etc. So I was like, you know what? If nobody's gonna do it, I'll do it. I don't care if they're obscure or niche, whatever. I'll do it. So that's why I did it. But now that I'm done with that phase, I guess, I can definitely do more villains of other franchises, but I definitely don't want to do another marathon, or a marathon focusing on a specific series, because again, if you notice, there are a few instances for my videos where I felt like the content or the quality could have been improved upon, and that was only because it was hard for me to, like I said, I don't want my video to be too repetitive. And had I probably included like other franchises or videos that, you know, keeps them separate, it would have been more, it would have not affected my video quality or overall workflow. So, but yeah, I definitely will. Mentally, yeah, I'm still, that's still a weird argument. Same dude argument, lewd. Right, Lude. Lude is such a weird character. It was kind of weird when I actually watched it. The Beerzel, God of Destruction. Yeah. I mean, yo, remember Hirudegarn in that one guidebook? He's God of Destruction. I guess he's as strong as Beerus. Am I right, guys? Hey, yo, Hirudegarn actually stronger than Jiren? Oh, man. The only video you can argue is canon to GT's Dead Zone. Right, and then GT is equal to the anime. Yeah. Yeah, there's still. Sorry, I'm still chewing. Sorry. Clearly, I'm a professional streamer. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I'm just because okay. One main argument is, oh, well, okay, how do I want to go with this? Okay, well, yeah, let's start at this. Let's first start with the GT, or the movies. So people say, oh, well, Koyama says the next villain is stronger than the one prior. So people say, okay, well, that means that, you know, Cooler's stronger than Slug, Broly's stronger than Android 13, etc. But then I'm like, okay, guys, look carefully at what he has to say. Initially, he says that, but then once Broly shows up, once he was created, he kind of goes against that logic. So then, how do you use this statement accurately when Koyama himself, in the very same source, goes against his own logic? So is it more accurate to use it to claim each villain is stronger than the next one, or is it more accurate to assume that none of the villains are really stronger than the next one, unless there's proof to, you know, or there's evidence to prove that claim? And then these fans, they're still like, well, Broly's not actually the strongest, Janemba is, because Koyama. But I'm like, okay, well, here's the source that says otherwise. And then there's, again, I'm so glad dude, how many hours I wasted just to look through his Twitter. But he literally says, what was it, year 2022, he literally says, like, in 4K, he literally says, because again, maybe some say, oh, well, the sources are outdated. It's from 20 years ago. That source is invalid. It's like, okay, here's a source from 1 year ago where he literally says Broly and Janemba's story are two different stories that do not have to connect other than just brand name. So as such, they do not have to scale to one another. So once again, Koyama goes against his own previous statement. And yet people still say, no, Janemba must be stronger than Broly because Koyama. And I'm like, okay, so you pretty much are appealing to ignorance because you want to use his logic, yet also ignore his own logic. So it's like, we're literally playing bias here just because you don't want to listen to the same guy who literally wrote these characters into existence. It's like, great job showing your non-bias. All right. And then that's my first thing. Hold on, let me put something else. Hold on, let me actually put something DBZ related in terms of music. And then yeah, sure. Why not? Let's just put this. And then yeah, like I was saying. So then the next thing he says is like, okay, well, or the next thing people claim is like, oh, well, the movies are canon to the anime. But I'm just like, bro, the amount of evidence that says otherwise is staggering, like beyond staggering. Like Dead Zone, sure, you could say it's canon because the anime has its own filler arc. But why does one movie means all the movies are canon? That does not make sense. Like, that's just dumb logic. You can't just associate or generalize everything and assume that must be the case. Like, this, and that's, again, it's the inconsistency and hypocrisy that some people say. It's like, oh, well, if Goku is only planet level, then everyone must be planet level. You see how that's dumb? So when I use that same logic for the anime and movie connection, all of a sudden they're like, oh, well, no, that's wrong. You're dumb, Numbs. It's like, are you kidding me? Like for Dead Zone, oh, sorry, Dead Zone doesn't have that much contradictions for the anime, but like, for example, World's Strongest, they use the Dragon Ball, so they have to wait for another year for the Dragon Balls to be used again. That's already one inconsistency. Plus, Piccolo is alive somehow. And then Tree of Might, the Dragon Ball is used again. And then the heroes are still alive. And Frieza is presumably alive as well. And then Lord Slug happens. Again, the Dragon Balls are used. So 3 years the movies are lagging behind the actual anime events. And presumably Frieza's still alive. And Goku has yet to go Super Saiyan. And then you go to Cooler, who we don't know if this Goku even killed Frieza or if it was future Trunks. And then, not to mention the Meta Cooler, where if it was canon or it did happen, the guidebooks literally says it happens during the Cell games. And yet Gohan doesn't go Super Saiyan or is even in his teen form. And Goku or Vegeta specifically, doesn't even use Grade 2 Super Saiyan. Nor does Trunks show up. Nor a single mention of Cell. And then Super Android 13, where it literally says it's happened in a parallel world in the guidebooks. Again, Gohan is still a kid, no Super Saiyan. There's no Cell. The teen androids are presumably dead, or not, we don't know. Cell is not around, even though he should be killing a bunch of people. And yet Goku is freaking shopping. Like, what the heck? And then finally Broly shows up, where the guidebooks literally says they question their own logic. Is like, oh, it could happen during the Cell games, but then it doesn't make sense why they are picnicking if Cell is literally about to destroy the world. And then finally Bojack, which people say it's canon. I'm kind of on it. And then finally there's Second Coming, where Gohan in the original Japanese, he literally said he trained for the entire 7 years. Even though every fan knows anime and manga Gohan never trained. I mean, he maybe like exercised here and there, but he just never trained. He literally plateaued. He didn't maintain his training. He just studied all the time. And then finally there's Bio Broly, which somehow happens during the Majin Buu conflict, even though there's no mention of Majin Buu. Then there's Fusion Reborn, which Videl never seen Shenron, even though the anime she literally saw Shenron. And also Goku says no to the 2 wishes, so the Dragon Balls can't be used for 4 months. And then the Fusion Reborn also has Gohan shows up, even though he should be with Shin training. There's no Majin Buu during that conflict. Like, do you notice how much inconsistency I had to mention from the movies that clearly contradicts the anime and manga? How in the world can the movies be 100% canon and therefore 100% scale to the anime? That does not make sense. And especially when everyone can acknowledge that, oh yeah, the movie or the manga of the super scaling is completely different from the scaling of the anime. So how can fans be totally okay with the separation of manga super and anime super scaling, but movie scaling and anime scaling is not allowed? Like, no, they must scale to one another. It's like, are you kidding me? We're okay with super having 2 separate scalings, but movie scaling cannot? That's so stupid. That's inconsistent. That's hypocrisy. That's bias. That's why I'm like, no. The movies are their own stories. Maybe Cooler can have its own, like, world. Broly can have his own universe where the 3 movies happen. But just because there's, like, a few sets that can connect to one another doesn't mean they all must be canon to one another. And that's perfectly fine. And, who was it? I think it was Dragonic. Like, you can agree with Godzilla. Like, even Toei, I think it was Toei, they made their own official timeline where it's like, hey, Heisei has some of these movies canon, but so does Showa have some of these movies canon. But just because these 2 timelines have, just because Showa era Godzilla and Heisei era have similar inclusions, doesn't mean they both scale to one another. They still are separate to their own scaling. And that's literally the same logic I'm using for the DBZ movies. But fans are still like, nah, the movies must be canon. They must scale to the anime, and I'm just wrong. There's no... And that's the funny thing. They never say why. They never give me evidence. They never counter-argue my claims. They never debunk any of the evidence I literally put on screen. They just say I'm wrong because I'm wrong. Because a 2010 argument that is so outdated, not up with the days, not up with the modern meta scaling, is still somehow valid because reasons. It's so dumb, so stupid. And then that goes on to the last part I want to say, which is DT. Here is literally the main things I keep hearing as to why GT somehow, because of course it does, connects to the movies. 1, the Dragon Fist, because of one stupid technique, therefore it's canon. 2 is, well, the villains came back from the dead, so it's canon. And then finally, well, Vegeta said fusion, because Fusion Reborn, therefore it's canon. And then... So then here's my arguments. I'm like, okay, well, first of all, it's a technique. Are you telling me that, well, hey, guys, remember, remember when, what's his name? Remember when, oh, shoot, what's that series it's called? Dang it, I already forgot what it's called. Oh, I already, lost it. But hey, remember that one random franchise that has 0 connection to Dragon Ball? Remember that one character using a Kamehameha? I guess that means this one character who spoofed, who parodied the Kamehameha must means he's canon to Dragon Ball Z. I guess that's how it works when it comes to canon. That's the definition of their canon. Hey guys, apparently because Godzilla appeared in My Hero Academia, but as a different character, or more so as a different name, I guess My Hero is canon to all of Godzilla franchise. I guess that's how it works. Apparently a technique means it's canon to another franchise. Hey guys, remember when Mario can use fire attacks? I guess Naruto that can use fire attacks is canon to Mario. That's how it works, alright? Alright, so that logic is stupid, and I already proved that it's just a technique. Goku can just learn that and be from a different continuity and not contradict the fact that he can use it. That's perfectly fine. Remember when in Super, Goku can use Hakai in the manga, but in the anime he can't? That doesn't mean anime Goku can't use Hakai. He can probably still learn it, but that doesn't mean him learning it in the anime means the Super manga is 100% in the anime continuity. No, they can still be their separate argument or separate continuity. But no, I'm still wrong apparently. And then the next one was what was the next one? What was it? Oh yeah. Oh well, the villains came back from the dead. It's like, yeah, Cooler. That's the only villain that's movie related that came back. Did Janemba show up in GT? No. What about Broly? No. Android 13? No. Slug? No. Turles? No. Wheelo? No. Garlic Jr.? No. Hirudegarn? No. But that one Cooler cameo must means all of the movies are canon. Or you could just say the Cooler movie is canon, and then that's it. Why does all the other movies must be canon just because Cooler showed up? And even then, we literally see other villains that has zero connection to Goku. Dodoria and Zarbon came back to life, but they died from Vegeta. They literally never met Goku before. For all we know, Cooler just died from an unknown history, and then he just somehow came back to life. I remember Android 19 came back. Android 19 came back, and he died from Trunks and Goten. And Goku didn't kill Android 19. So, like, just because these villains came back doesn't mean that the movies are canon. That doesn't make any sense. In fact, if they were canon, where the hell is Janemba? You're telling me a distortion between Hell and Earth does not somehow accumulate or cultivate just enough evil energy to reform Janemba? Nope. Not a single time is Janemba referenced. Not a single time. And then, or hell, GT with the Shadow Dragons. They mention how the overusage of the wishes created the Shadow Dragons. Okay. Well, you would think that these entire roster of villains making the most heinous evil wishes ever were not even once mentioned by the Shadow Dragons. In order, Garlic Jr. wanted immortality, was never mentioned. Dr. Kochen, his wish was kind of tame. He wanted to revive his ice imprisoned laboratory. Krillin and the gang summoned Shannon just for a forest. Lord Slug wanted eternal youth. And technically in Wrath of the Dragon, after the defeat of Hirudegarn, they brought back everybody back to life. After, Hirudegarn killed people and stuff. What's up, Cherry Boy? So, these are wishes that were not even once referenced by the Shadow Dragons. Not even once. And yet these Shadow Dragons are like, yeah, I was born because Oolong summoned or granted panties. The most stupid wish ever. That's hilarious, honestly. But the most stupid wish ever was more impactful than, Slug wanted eternal youth. Garlic Jr. wanted immortality. Uh, not even mentioned once. Okay. And then finally, the fusion dance, the last argument of movie connection is like, first of all, it could just be, you know, plot. Like, do you really think the GT riders were that smart? No, not at all. Like, bro, they did not even know what they wanted to do for the first arc. Like when they were doing the Dragon Ball GT universe searching, the I think it was the director or like the producer or somebody literally made an entire actually, you know what? Screw it. Let me find it. Hold on. I'm going to find it right now. Hold on. It's going to take me a bit, but yeah, I'm going to find it right now. Screw it. I know I had it somewhere. Oh, sorry. Am I gonna do a hot check video? Of course, 100%. It's more so a question of when, rather if. Hold on. I can't find it. Okay, I think I found it. It's not exactly. I think it was this, but yeah. Hold on. Let me just. Yeah, sure. Actually, no. Let me just. Let me just add it in real quick. Okay. Do you guys see it? I think you're about to see it in a bit. Okay, there you go. All right, just want to make sure I know there's a delay on my on the side of the live stream, but yeah, here it literally says that I could even give the source out, but he literally says the producer of GT. He literally says that the first arc they had no idea where to go. They literally thought it was boring, and they just were like, "Yeah, what are we doing?" Like, do you really think that these guys who are like, "Oh yeah, it's totally canon to the movies. Yeah, we know what we're doing. It's totally accurate." And it's like, yeah, you mean the same people who had no idea what to do for the first arc of a new series? You really think that they're gonna be like, "Oh yeah, it's totally canon to the movies"? Yeah, Vegeta just asking to, "Hey, we should fuse." Yeah, that totally wasn't because we didn't explain how that he knew about that. It's so stupid. Wait, I can get rid of that now. All right. Yeah, it's so stupid. Yeah, so that's why I'm just like, I'm sorry, but I just refuse to acknowledge the movies are canon to GT because the arguments are just garbage. They're literally just terrible. they're so loose. The arguments are so loose. It's not even worth justifying. They're just trying to. They literally want to canonize their headcanon. Hmm. Hmm. So, yeah, I'm trying to get my thoughts. Yeah, I'm trying to gather my thoughts. Okay, so your question, Cherry Boy, what do you think about afterlife's metaphysics? So, oh gosh. Okay, so that's another thing when it comes to GT scaling that I hate is that people overhype. That's the funny thing is that the reason why people, because I did get a bit of flag for my Hurrigan video, which admittedly, I could have explained a bit more in detail, or I could have added on a bit more as to what I already said. But for some reason, people have this weird, like, people want to force their headcanon onto me. If I do not, like, preach what the majority says, yo, thank you, Stride. Heck yeah. Buy some candy. Let me buy me my, let me buy the Sensu Beans candy. Yeah. So, for some reason, people really want me to enforce their headcanon. If I'm not saying what they agree with, I'm wrong by default. But I'm not here to gossip about what other people think. I'm here to gossip what the franchise has to say. And then I insert my own explanation as to how things can make sense. Obviously, my videos will have bias or opinions. But I still have it based on what is actually given to us from the franchise itself. Not just assumptions, not just headcanon, not just speculation. It's actual, like, something understandable. Like, you guys can understand where I'm at least coming from. So when it comes to the other world scaling, no matter what I say, I'm going to be wrong to the fanbase. Either A, it's just another universe with its own time space. So it's, you know, another 4D universe. Or it's another universe that is of a higher dimension. Let's just say 5D for now, just for simplicity's sake. It's just a higher mathematical dimension than the 4D universe that we live in. Or, as the GT wankers want to say, it is quite literally a beyond conceptual reality. Like, it is actually beyond any concepts, any dimensionality. It is therefore adversal. So there's literally no in between. You have to be one of those three camps. Either you're downplaying it, you're mid-balling it, or you're just overhyping it. That's just the consensus in general. And that's why I'm so glad I did my Janemba video before Harudagarn, because if that's why I try to do it to a certain extent in order, because if you wanted to know more about my thoughts on certain other villains, you can go watch a previous video where I do go more in detail about what I already had to say about that. That's why in my Janemba video, I gave several interpretations of what I think of the other world's dimensional scaling, because it's not concrete, and that's the problem I have when it comes to people pointing at me about saying I'm wrong, because they think it's 100%. They think it's a fact. It's a fact that apparently the other world is adversal. I don't know where they get the evidence to prove that, but apparently it's 100% factually adversal, according to them. So, now don't get me wrong. There are good sources as to what it has to, or what it defines it as. But what do I personally think? I like to say, me personally, it is some creepypasta scaling. That would be kind of hilarious to do. I won't probably take it seriously, but it would still be an interesting topic. Um, I personally like to say it is a higher dimension, but not to an extreme extent. I do not consider it a out-of-versal reality, but I do not really think it's a what to say? I don't think it's just another universe per se, because I know obviously the Daizenshuu 4 labels it as a transcendent or a realm that transcends dimensions, so that's already one. I know that the anime what's it called? Adventure role-playing guidebook labels it as extra dimensional. What else? Oh yeah. I know that Goku and Super Exciting labels it as a realm without time, apparently. Now Koyama himself kind of he's kind of uncertain with how he interprets it. Either he does think that it's a different realm, but he also labels it as like a realm with a different flow of time. Like, it's weird. It's kind of a weird take, but he says that unlike, say, our living universe flow of time, he believes heaven has its own. Either he's trying to say it's its own separate 4D time, or it's a higher dimensional flow of time. So it's still time, but of a higher dimension, basically. So it could go either way with how he interprets it. And then obviously there's the other guidebooks that says like, oh, within the universe, the living universe, there are other dimensions in between the living universe that is also labeled as super dimensional. So therefore, you can definitely imply that if the realms within the living universe are already beyond time, then therefore you can definitely argue Otherworld itself is also beyond time. So there's that. And especially when we already know there's other planes of reality outside of the Universe 7. I mean, the realm of Kai's, old Kai's planet, is literally outside of the entire Universe 7 in general. So even then, that's already proof that, yes, no matter what, there is space outside of time itself. So I personally like to think that based on consistency or based on the amount of evidence given, it's okay. I think it's a perfectly valid argument, or I think it's a perfectly valid opinion that Otherworld can be above time in general. So I'm not saying it has to be, oh, it's Otherworld is 12D. Oh, well, Otherworld is beyond outerversal. It's like, no. I'm just saying it's at least above time itself. It just above 4D. Whether it's 5D, 60, 12, 30, a million, I don't care. I just like to think that based on the evidence given and presented by all the secondary sources, I think it's okay to assume that it can be above time. Obviously, it could still just be another realm that's still 4D and that's it. That's fine. But I don't think it being 5D, contradicts really anything. Outerversal, I do think is a bit too over the top. It doesn't make sense for it to be like, it's still kind of like, it's contradictory. It's like saying, hey, this rock is a rock, but beyond the concept of rocks. It's like, wait a minute. What? How can it be beyond the concept of a rock if it's still bound to the very, like, design of what a rock is defined as? Like, that doesn't make any sense. So it's like, likewise. And also, that also doesn't make sense because technically every other universe has their own other world. It has their own Snake Way, etc. So how can there be more outer verses of other world and yet still be outerversal when it's beyond the concept of concepts itself? There can't be more than one version of it. That doesn't make any sense. So I hope that explains. I know that's a long explanation. Sorry about that, Cherry. I'm not sure if you're still here, but that's my opinion. If you disagree, that's perfectly fine. I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna damn you to for disagreeing, but that's just my overall thoughts of the topic at the matter. Where's my music, bruh? There we go. Oh yeah, I forgot to even say Happy Hallows Day, everyone. I wasn't I wasn't sure what to I wasn't even sure what to call my live stream. So I was like, what today? Apparently every single day has its own holiday. So I'm like, what is today? It's a new month. And I was like, oh, okay. That's cool. Why not? Okay, so, official Toei anime timelines already states that movie, yeah, Battle Gods are canon to GT. Battle of Gods are canon to GT. Was that, when was that stated? Was that ever stated? I don't recall that. I know what you're talking about for movie 1 and 5, but Battle of Gods, I don't recall that being mentioned. Or actually, no, I don't remember what was that said. And then see, that's the funny thing is that even if, all right, even if I give the GT fans a chance, let's just say that, okay, yes, movie 1 and 5 are canon to the Z anime at least. How does that contradict anything else I've said? Like, it doesn't. Like, okay, even if Cooler's canon, how does that change the GT scaling? It doesn't. Cooler is above anime Frieza. Okay. Goku eventually upscales above Frieza. That doesn't really make GT Goku any stronger. You could say, oh, well, Garlic Jr. created the super dimensional black hole. But at the same time, it could just be a black hole. The same guys, the same GT fans who keep arguing that the adventure guidebook of all things is somehow a valid source or like a prioritized source. That's the very same guidebook that says that the Dead Zone is he created a portal into a realm. He didn't create the dimension. He simply opened a portal to the dimension. So even if I were to say that Garlic Jr.'s feat of creating or opening the Dead Zone is 4D, that adventure game guidebook is just him opening the portal. So that doesn't even make him 4D in terms of AP. So once again, that doesn't upscale GT Goku at all. And then once again, in terms of Beerus, I mean, we know that GT Goku eventually scales above Vegito, whether as a Super Saiyan 4 and base whatever, that doesn't matter. That doesn't really make him any stronger than he already is. I mean, hell, even in the anime, we already know that if you really overhype the narrator's statements and Goku and stuff, he already says that, oh yeah, Kid Buu is the strongest enemy I've ever faced. So you can even argue that Goku was already stronger than Vegito just from fighting Kid Buu. So once again, including that Battle of Gods onto GT doesn't, that's still, again, that's what I'm saying, is like none of these arguments, it changes Goku's scaling in general. Like, even if we just ignore AP, like, oh, well, his jewels is this level. Like, even if we just say, in terms of simple English, he's above Kid Buu. It's like, yeah, no duh. Okay. Well, he's above Universals. Like, yeah, we know that. Okay. Like, where's the evidence that proves he's Outerversal? Oh well, the phrasing is it says it's a metaphysical. It's like, yeah, it could also mean like in a figurative manner, not a literal term. Like, dude, in fact, yeah, you know what? I remember Koyama himself in one Twitter literally said he responded to a person literally saying, what the hell is a platonic concept? The dude who literally wrote all GT or all movies does not know what platonic concepts are. So you really think that this guy who, you know, overhyped, or that is evidence to somehow make GT Goku outerversal, he's gonna be the reason why? You really think his intentions was 100% like intentional? You really think this entire time, he always, with full intention, 100% knowledge, knowing full well where the franchise was gonna go, even though he had no idea where the original manga was going with its plot, you really think that Koyama was like, oh yeah, Broly is beyond platonic concepts, he's beyond outerversal, but GT Goku is beyond Broly, so he's beyond outerversal? It's so dumb. It's so dumb. It's so stupid. So, yeah. But yeah, guys, look forward to my GT Goku video. Yeah, I don't. See, that's the reason why I don't want to do that video. Because I want to, just to prove people wrong and get people mad. But it's also going to make me frustrated to even watch through my own video. Just to be like, hey guys, this is wrong because of this, this, and that. It's like, ugh. It's like trying to argue against a brick wall. It's not even worth it. Yeah. And sorry, I'm chewing. The funny thing is that, I mean, again, I appreciate everyone's support here. Thanks for everyone who came by, even for a second. But like, I find it funny how I'm like one of those weird random people that came out of nowhere, who's just like, you know what? Just because I love this franchise, you know, I know I have my issues with it, but in general, I love what it was able to do for the time being. I decided, you know what? I'm interested myself. I want to know how strong these characters are. You know, how strong are they? I generally don't know. I want to know. I'll do the research and I'll just show what I got to the fan base. See what they have to say about the overall topic. I like how a bunch of people who I can guarantee you did not have just as much research, did not put as much research as I have, somehow are going to tell me that I'm wrong about a character's stats just because of one tiny reference. It's like, seriously? And the funny thing is that none of my videos, I try to enforce my opinions onto others. Okay, well, besides the GT thing, but in terms of like the results, the conclusions, like Janemba, I've like was heavily hammering down that, hey guys, I myself don't even know what is more accurate. So here's what I found. Lowballed, he's minimum, maybe, you know, multi-solar system, whatever. Maybe he's universal. Maybe he's beyond multiversal. You guys can decide your conclusions. I'm not going to say he must be beyond multiversal. He can be based on this evidence, but you guys can still put your own thoughts onto the overall information I provided you. But that is still apparently not enough. I must be like, no, he must be multi-solar system. Actually, no, he must be outerversal. Actually, no, he must be multiversal. It's like, for some reason, people really want me to really put like a concrete like nail in the coffin, like to be like, no, these must be his stats. It's like, dude, the series itself gives us just enough room for interpretation to still have room for discussion. Why must I have like an objective claim that he must be this level, right? Like, if everyone is saying the same thing, then that's kind of boring. Like, what's the point of us power scaling if there's not at least some room for interpretation or for some discussion? Now, granted, I hope that you guys can, like, at least bring, like, develop your interpretation based off some evidence or some room of something valid that came from the series. But if I have to argue something that's clearly not even the author or the writer's intentions, then why should I do it? Like, why must I prove the characters are universal when all the evidence is mostly assumptions and headcanons? Like, come on now. Like, sure, I can say it as a, like, as a joke manner, but, like, as an actual... As, like, an actual proof, like, objective claim, that's kind of like, I don't know about that, buddy. Like, I don't know about that, buddy. Yeah, that's why I'm just, I really am so uncertain to even wanting to do a, GT and scaling, because, man, the amount of people I'm gonna have to argue against. That's also why I rarely, like, respond to the comments, because I just really don't got time to be wasting, because I know there's gonna be people who don't wanna, who will never change their opinions, so why am I gonna bother? And plus, that's never my goal to begin with. It's just, hey, I wanted to do something entertaining, I want to do something new, I want to talk about a character that people literally do not talk about. Like, again, I like how these random people that pop out of nowhere all of a sudden are like, oh, well, I'm an expert of Turles. I'll have you know that you're wrong about your Turles scaling. And I'm just like, bro, where did you come from? Where's the Turles content then, huh? Why is there not 5,000 videos talking about Turles? Literally, like, there's nobody talking about Turles. The first thing I literally typed when I found typing down Turles on YouTube is my video. Everything else is just from the actual movie or like a what if scenario, gameplay footage. Not a single thing about the actual scaling. I'm like, okay, well, where were you at, huh? I'm not saying I'm gonna like some god tier expert or like everything I say is like 100% factual. Even I emphasize like, hey, there's a lot of speculative things I'm not sure about. But still, where the heck were you guys? You guys all of a sudden hyping up your boy Janimba, Turles, Slug. Where the heck were you guys at, huh? I mean, heck, I know that Wheelo wasn't my popular video, but I don't care. I still put the effort in. I was generally like, I was actually low-key invested on the character. I was like, actually, he has impressive feats even for a low-tier power character, which is pretty rare for Dragon Ball standards too. So I was like, all right, this is actually pretty cool. But yeah. Oh, and thanks to everybody to those who are still here. In case you're wondering, because how long has it been? A week? Almost a week? 4 days. No, 5 days. Yeah, almost a week. In case you're wondering, yes, I am working on the new video. Oh, okay, that doesn't work as I want it, but that's fine, whatever. But yeah, I am working on a new video. I immediately started it right after the Harudegar video. How far am I at? I want to say, yeah, I'm almost a third of the way done. There's just a little bit more research I need to do for the next video. Recording is gonna be easy. I obviously I still need to recover from my dumb cold or allergy or whatever, but I think it's going pretty well. I'm generally hoping I can actually get this video out sooner. I'm hoping I can get it out within a month's time, because I'm really motivated to get this video out as a new beginning for my channel, especially when it's something new and and not villain related. So yeah. What was I gonna say? So yeah, it's definitely gonna come out. I'm still kind of debating as to whether I want to, because I know that you guys, or I'm not sure if you guys specifically, but the poll really wanted to have a video on Android 21 next. I was actually kind of curious as to who was gonna win, and apparently y'all were really looking into having that come out. But I'm still kind of uncertain if I want to make a video before her. Like, first the video I'm working on now, and then one surprise video, and then Android 21, or Android 21 and then my surprise video. I'm not sure. I'm still gonna think about that. I know for a fact that I'm not sure what order, but I know for sure that Hachiok will definitely come out after Android 21. I feel like his video is going to be really simple to do. It's going to be probably just as short as Herutigar, probably even shorter. I'm not entirely sure, but and then who was next? I do have a few characters lined up, at least an idea as to who I'm going to do. It's more of a question of who's gonna go next. But that's still up in the air. I don't really have like these things planned out. There's not really much of a reason to. If you if you can scale my chance dating 21, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's pretty new and refreshing, you know, for once a female character to talk about. So I'm also kind of curious to look into it, but gonna stir into fan-made content like the Evil Goku again. That's what I'm still curious as to what I'm gonna do after that, because I want there to be enough to work with for it to be its own video. Because I don't want to say I have an issue with making 5-minute videos, but I don't know. I feel more motivated to do like videos that are like 10 minutes plus at least. And plus I mean, it's not to say I don't want to talk about niche characters. It's just that I want to make sure that there's enough material to work with for a fan base of a fan-made project that has something worth talking about. So that's why it's gonna be kind of hard to really look into what fan material is out there that has enough to work with for me to make a pretty good, solid video. But yeah. Yeah, AF scaling. I was always tempted to do a AF scaling. It's just that, okay, well, for one, I need to really prefacize whose AF series I'm doing. Either it's Toyotaro's AF series, or it's Young Gigi's AF series, or some other fan AF version. And then the other problem is that, like, say with Toyotaro's, there's so much reference regarding GT and the movies. That's where I really had to be like, oh gosh, now I have to really prefacize GT scaling to the movies. I had to really be like, oh, well, if it does count to GT movies, then he must scale to the movie. It's like, ugh. I don't want to deal with that. And then if I do, I had to go into detailed explanation about that. That's why I'm kind of hesitant on that. But who knows? And plus, it's like there are certain other like continuations of Dragon Ball that doesn't have enough material out just yet for me to really preface the actual scaling. Like what was that one called? Yeah, Deliverance. Like that one, like obviously it has like current, like what was it, 4 episodes? Yeah, 4 episodes. And sure, I could do a video on that as an example, but then it's like, well, it's still ongoing, and 4 episodes is not that long to really emphasize a lot about its scaling. So that's why I'm just like, well. So that's what I mean. Because the reason why I did the movies is because we're talking about a franchise that's been going on for 30 years plus. So I would think that with 30 years of content and material out, I would have just enough material to extend a video for these movie villains to really show how much difference in presentation given in the video games and the movies, etc. And there is surprisingly nice amount of presentation for these characters to make a full-length video. Like, what surprised me the most is like Turles. His characterization was completely different compared to what was it, to his movie counterpart, like within Heroes and stuff, or even like the Super Heroes one. And that was pretty cool. Like, even though he's not like quote unquote canon to the real story, like the Toriyama story, there's just enough like of a narrative for me to emphasize for the video to talk about. And that's thanks to the franchise running for 30 years. And obviously this franchise is still going to be running longer, but at least I can give a nice like overview of a character that, while obscure, is still popular enough for, you know, to have these stories. But then you have like Deliverance or other fan-made series that hasn't been running that long at all, and there's not much to talk about. So that's why it's kind of hard for me to be like, is it worth making these videos? Like, obviously I'm sure they can get videos no matter what, but I myself don't like to just make a video that just bandwagons or just makes a video that is like new on day one and then there's nothing else to talk about. I like to talk about things that have a history. So what up, Cara? Nice to meet you. Oh yeah, and I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you had fun with your Halloween festivities. I had my fun working. Yeah, I had my day off, so I was like, yeah, that was actually a nice time to go back to streaming. Why not do it? But yeah, I'm definitely gonna... Yeah, that's why I want to do scaling videos for characters that have just enough material to work with. That people would definitely have a character that definitely they will learn something new about, whether they like them or not. But also a character that like a character that has enough history to for me to look into that will probably make them reevaluate their appreciation of the nuance of the character. Because that's what I try to do for my villain scaling, is that as someone who really overlooked the movie villains, I have more of an appreciation for these characters compared to, before I did these series of videos. And that's why I keep hoping that, someday they can give these villains or these characters better material, because there's so much there is so much potential that can be tapped into if they're just given the right amount of material given, because the concepts are there, they just need to be executed a little bit better. But yeah, that's gonna definitely be interesting. What about Frieza? First anime villain over a movie, and it's cooler. Okay, so the reason why I have yet to do any actual in story canon character is because of just the amount of material. Because I don't want to really say I'm a perfectionist, but more so a completionist. Because, look, for example, if someone were to ask me, hey, Numbs, would you ever do a Goku video? And the answer is not really, because, look at Seth's video of Goku. What more can I add compared to a literal 6-hour-long video? He literally went over the entirety of the anime and the manga. Obviously, it didn't include a GT or video game inclusions, but in terms of the original source material, what more can I say? What more can I add? So likewise, when it comes to the characters that people have already talked about for the entire run of the franchise, what more can I say about Frieza, Cell, Boo, the more obvious, memorable characters of the franchise? Obviously, I'm sure I can still do certain characters, but when people are able to be like, oh, I know this obvious character's ability. Frieza did this one thing to the Vegeta planet. Oh, well, Kid Buu destroyed Earth. Oh, well, Cell will stated he can destroy the solar system. The more obvious feats is going to be hard to not overlook or to not overemphasize compared to every other nuance feat they've done. So that's why it's kind of so that's why I'm kind of I'm sure I can give nice viewership from a Frieza video, but there's a reason why I love talking about the villains from the movies, is because, again, nobody talked about them. I know people do talk about in forums, but in terms of what is actually being a main discussion, an actual prominent discussion throughout the fan base as it evolved over the years, nobody gave them a chance. So that's why I was like, okay, let me actually talk about these characters that nobody gave them a chance. And then obviously, if I were to say Frieza, everybody would be like, oh yeah, Frieza, I know everything about his scaling. But then once we talk about these characters that nobody talks about, they're like, who? He did what? Oh, I don't remember that. It's like, yeah, no duh. That's why I made a video, because even I didn't know about that. So that's why I'm kind of like, do I want to do a Frieza video? Maybe, but it's definitely not going to be one I'm going to prioritize at the moment. Hold on, let me increase the audio a bit for the background. I'm not sure if it was quiet for you guys or not. How strong is Yamcha? Okay, see, now that is actually a great example of what I want to do. Because, I mean, obviously people want to really kick on Yamcha for being complete fodder, but that would be an interesting video. Like a complete overview of like him throughout the franchise. That would be interesting. I don't think I'm gonna do that like currently, because like I said, I'm doing like a quote-unquote specials marathon now. Characters that are like they're more prominent within secondary material rather than main material. So that's why in my poll I did like Hot Shock, Android 21, Goku Jr. because they're still kind of canon, but they're not they are kind of canon, but they're not from Toriyama's original work, but they're recognizable enough for people to be like, oh yeah, they're from GT, they're from this game, you know. So that's why I'm just kind of like, maybe. That's why I'm trying to do things that are new, like exclusive characters. That's the best way to say it. Exclusive characters that were not part of Toriyama's original story. So Yamcha would fall under the original story, which is not something I want to do at the moment in terms of my quote-unquote specials marathon. Thanks again, guys, for watching this long. It's already been nearly 2 hours long. I wasn't even sure how long I wanted to stream, but I could probably stream a little bit longer. I could definitely stream for long periods of time, but even I got other things to do afterwards. And especially since I wanted to just test out the kinks of the YouTube's live stream. Oh, great. And now there's the tornado sirens. Tapion versus PyCon? Now, that would actually be pretty interesting. I'd actually be curious who would... I'd be down for that. That'd be cool. To see who would win. I'm hoping that, especially with these upcoming videos, people will definitely look into the rest of my villains, because since we're now out from the movie material and into the more I want to say like more mainstream content that people are more familiar with, people would what's the word I'm looking for? Come across my video to be like, oh, okay, he's doing these types of things. This is pretty interesting. So here's hoping for that. And then obviously, yeah, Broly. I only add him in for the thumbnail, or not thumbnail, but for the stream, just for his bait. He'd be like, hey guys, remember when I promised I will do the thing? Hey, look, here's the thing. I promise I'm gonna do the thing. I don't know when, but I'll do the thing. Just keep on checking. Do you believe we should use Dragon Ball Super's logic whenever we talk about fights in Dragon Ball Z? What specifically in terms of fights? Like, in terms of narrative or the scaling? What do you mean? Yeah, and just so you guys know, yes, I am, oops, no, wrong material. But yeah, eventually, after I'm done with today, I'm definitely going to be going back to doing my next video, which, ooh, I wonder what's going to be. I wonder what's it going to be. I wonder if people will like it. Probably not, because I'm an idiot. GT versus movie villains is goated. I mean, that would be pretty fun, but it's hard to say. Yeah, I'm trying to see. Actually, I'm curious. What more do I... Okay, that's kind of simple. Um, and then that's already technically done. So that's one. That's, I guess, two. Yeah, I think I'm almost done with the research for my next video. I think I want to say 80% done, so I'll definitely be getting into my scripting, and then eventually I'll record, and then I'll get into post-production, which is the obvious editing of the video. So I'll definitely be trying my best to making the I definitely want to make my content more productive. I want to make sure that you guys are not having to wait this long. Obviously, I know that I'm gonna still put the effort in, but you know, not rush quantity, or not. How do I want to phrase it? Now focus on quantity over quality. There you go. But as long as I know I'm being productive and motivated and, you know, whatnot, I'll definitely be hoping you guys will get more content out of me and just be able to be entertained with these characters that you might be fans with. What other anime do you like and you are planning to do? I want to spoil one so badly, but it was also kind of a secret one because I don't want others to do it. I know for sure. I'm not sure how exactly I'm gonna do it. I'm not entirely sure how I'm gonna do it. But I know I want to eventually do Fairy Tail for sure. I know Chuck said he wanted to do it, which he beat me to the punch to it if I don't get onto it. But I know I want to somehow do Fairy Tail because I don't care what anyone has to say. Oh, it's bad writing. Oh, the friendships and power stuff. Shut up. I don't care. I'm all about that trash shonen content. It's shonen for a reason, bro. Y'all really be thinking it's some 5-star writing material? Come now. Like, seriously. You really think that Dragon Ball Z, the literal creme de la creme of shonen definition, is some god tier writing? Yeah, you're gonna trash on Fairy Tail for trash writing? Like, come on, man. But, yeah, I definitely want to do Fairy Tail to give it justice on... Well, just because nobody's really talking about it in terms of power scaling related. I know there have been people who've done it, but... I feel like with my format or my form of presentation, I guess. My style, there you go. My style of presentation. I'll definitely give... I feel like people will be satisfied with what I can find. Or what I have to say about the franchise. That definitely is one. In terms of other animes, that's kind of hard for me to say, because another reason why I was able to get away with doing power scaling for Dragon Ball is because it's so easily, or it's more, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say it's easier to find. It's more available. There you go. It's more available in terms of information provided because of the fan base being that dedicated. But then there's other franchises where it's like, dude, there's no translations. There's like, it's all Japanese exclusive. You're gonna have to translate it on your own. You have to find this one obscure guidebook that is rarely printed anymore. And it will definitely be satisfying to get the material out. I'm just saying is that it's going to be annoying and a pain to translate it properly and make sure I got all the material that people were not aware of exists. And especially since there's going to be the obvious language barrier, because I'm trying my hard to slowly learn Japanese, kanji and stuff, but oh man. If I had to do that for every single franchise that have exclusive Japan-only content, that's going to be a pain for me to deal with. Yeah, and also, yeah, let's list things out. Naruto, I know for sure that I don't want to do because, I mean, I did watch all the entirety of the anime. Like, I'm talking every filler episode, and it was not because of power scaling related. It was just because I was interested in getting into the series. But that was like a few years ago. But there's so many other people that have already talked about pretty much anything you can ask for regarding the Naruto. And if I were to jump in as a newbie, I can guarantee you, and for good reasons, that I will be heavily criticized because I know I don't know my things regarding Naruto, or I'll miss things that I didn't realize was a thing. And like I said, I want my content to be unique and distinct. I don't want to make videos for the sake of making them when people already done videos that is more than satisfying in terms of information. I want things that people are not aware of. Because otherwise, I just feel like I'm not going to feel satisfied making videos that people already know or that people already talked about for way too long. That's why I want to do things that's, you know, I feel, I don't want to say I want the fan base to have a voice, but I definitely want to talk about franchises that people really want to have someone to actually, like, I don't want to say depend upon, but definitely be like, oh, he's that guy. He's that. You should definitely ask this guy to be like looking into these things, you know? I would like to see you scale My Hero Academia movies because I would if you would scale them to the anime or just scale them on their own. That would be interesting. Are there people that scale My Hero Academia? I know Seth has done his. And obviously I know people talk about like aspects of the characters, like, you know, their quirks and stuff, or maybe the writing of My Hero, but like, is there anyone that actually like very specifically power scales My Hero? If not, then that's surprising. You think there would be. Especially with how pop. Oh. Yeah, I just see one person, but I think that's about it. Yeah, it might be worth the shot, maybe. Yeah, I know for sure I definitely want to scale video games specifically. Animes is where I'm gonna be a bit on. I have to be very careful with how I go through it because there's gonna be certain franchises that will work through my format, but then there's gonna be others that I feel like is gonna be a little bit more detail orientated for me to truly scale them properly, to give them, you know, proper justice. So that's why I'm just kind of hesitating on doing that. And plus, not to mention, I don't want to get in trouble having my video to get copyrighted or, you know, some other stupid nonsense just because of the people who own the actual anime, you know, getting on my back just because of, you know, usage of their footage and stuff. That's why it's kind of surprisingly, Devil May Cry has been something I was considering. Obviously, I need to look into it. I'm just not sure how I want to do it at the same time. Yeah, again, it's always a case of how do I want to go about it, because I definitely want it to be something. If I'm able to if I'm able to nicely trick people into thinking I know everything about the franchise, then I'm doing my job correctly. Because in my first video that I just got introduced about a series that I knew nothing about until after posting my video, and people think, oh wow, this guy must be a fan of the series. I'm like, oh yeah, totally. I totally did not just start researching on this entire franchise while making this video. Then clearly I did my job right. but we'll just have to wait to see about that. Oh, you know what? Hold on a second. I'm stupid. Oh, well, okay. Technically, it's not the same, but whatever. I don't care. Let me just exclude it. Oh, man, so stupid. So silly. I should have thought of this before, but whatever. Oh man, so silly. Alrighty, let me include this. There you go. Oh, there you go. Yeah, let me just. Wait. That's good enough. That's good enough. Yep. There you go. Get it? Because Hollow and Hallows Day, you know? Oh, man, so silly. It's one letter off, but who cares? I'm getting into the spirit, all right, guys. Oh man. I guess I'm the sort of that guy for DBAF. So we're to be that guy to know a lot of fan-made DB stuff. Nah, that's fine. Oh, that's where it is. Oops. Alright, there you go. Oh, no, don't worry. I'm not doing Bleach. Clyde has definitely done his fair share of Bleach scaling. His videos are pretty solid. I love Bleach. I actually didn't mind the anime. I probably will enjoy it more the manga version of it, but I don't know. I feel like I don't think I'll do. That's another thing I want to do is I want to give these franchises proper justice, and I feel like there are certain franchises where even if I were to do it my own way, explain to the best of my ability of how the scaling works, there are certain franchises where I just feel like there's gonna be a disconnect with me and the series. So I feel like no matter how hard I try, there's just not gonna be a proper way for me to format them that people will engage with. And I feel like Clyde's just format of how he does his Bleach scaling is more genuine and more entertaining than if I were to do my version of it. Oh shoot, I forgot I forgot about myself. There you go. There you go. I can never forget about myself. There you go. Oh yeah, Fairy Tale for sure. Fairy Tale for sure is something I'm gonna do, no matter what. I know for a fact that Fairy Tale is gonna be a series that I can perfectly encapsulate with my style, for sure. Either that or because I'm stupid and I'm just a Fairy Tale fanboy who knows no better when it comes to writing, but I don't care. I don't care. I'm doing it my way. I'm doing it no matter what. I hope that's also stopped the lagging. Probably because of the high quality of the Broly thumbnail or live wallpaper. Have I ever watched Fairy Tale or Fairy? Have I ever watched Fate Stay Night or Fate Zero? I have not. I have actually considered doing it, but more as a joke because I know Chuck really loves Astolfo. I legit thought of it as like I don't want to say as like a joke, but more so as like a tribute to be like, hey, here's your waifu, your husbando. Let me do a video about how strong Astolfo is and give me all your viewership and then just move on. I may consider doing Fates. I genuinely never got into it. I never found a proper way to get introduced to the series. I do think I'm gonna have fun watching it. It looks like a series I'll be into. I just don't know when to really start it or how to feel introduced to it without feeling like because I feel like that's what I want to do for most series. I'm not saying I have to like everything that comes to me, but I do want to be like, you know, give everything a chance at least. And especially if it's going to be related to my channel, I definitely want to have them be a series I'll definitely put proper effort and, you know, appreciation to the series if I'm willing to make a full video out of it. What is your avatar? Well, wouldn't you like to know, Stride? I'm not sure if I should explain it, but I kind of like the fact that nobody knows what my avatar is. That's the funny thing is that that's what I also find funny is that it's been a whole year since I made my first video, and I've still yet to put any effort when it comes to my avatar. I have considered doing commissioning someone to do an avatar, like a original character avatar that was inspired to this one, but I don't know. There's something about the PNG just makes it beautiful for me. I feel like it just encapsulates the whole point of my channel, the whole Numbs persona. Yeah, it's definitely that's the thing that's always hard for me to really figure out is how do I want to introduce a new series onto my channel, because I mean thankfully there's no expectations or really standards or like I know there's a word for it, but thankfully I don't have a, you know, a recognition or any particular popularity for my channel, so thankfully people won't always be expecting me to do Dragon Ball related videos or hey, Numbs is that Dragon Ball power scalar guy. Thankfully I yet to really feel typecasted, I guess, if that's the best word to explain it. But if I do want to do a new series for power scaling, I definitely want to talk about them in a way that is still appropriate for the series, but is also new to any newcomers when it comes to power scaling, and to give them the same vibe that they would get from, you know, watching the actual series. So it's definitely going to be something I'll need to look into, but I know for certain that there will be other franchises that I know I'll be able to get into properly, but then there's one that I'll have to take some time to properly develop. I'll just have to wait and see. How do you feel about people saying that Trunks only thinks the main timeline androids was stronger because the future androids never take Trunks serious? Ooh, well. Oh, I really wish I could explain that now, but I'm sorry, you're gonna have to wait. I mean, okay. Here's my deal. If you want to donate, you can donate now, and I can answer that question, like right now in the live stream, or you can wait for one of my upcoming videos that will explain that. Wink, wink, and I'm sure you'll be satisfied with the conclusion or my thoughts on the matter. That's all I can say. So sorry about that. Yeah, that I'll definitely be able to break down in one of my upcoming videos, but that's my ultimatum basically. Sorry, Space. But I appreciate you asking my thoughts on the matter. Cuz yeah, I also got that a question, or I got that from comments from my Android 13 video, cuz people didn't, a few people, I think it was one person or just a few people that definitely didn't agree with my take on the whole past Androids weaker than the present Android, or the future Androids weaker than the present thing, which was, I could have probably worded it differently, but I was more so just saying about the difference in power scaling, not that they must be as strong as, or they must be different than power, just more so, or that one sets of Android was stronger than the other. Just that the acknowledgement of difference in power was mostly the point I was trying to make. But yeah, definitely. Otherwise, look forward to the answer when it comes out, which hopefully won't be too long of a wait. But we'll just wait and see about that. Fine, no fan art for you. I mean, Stride, if you donate again, I can explain also about the whole avatar thing. I have no problems with that. Hopefully, next stream I'll definitely be doing something more interactive. I might play a game, or I might do, I don't want to say reactions, but more so review of certain videos, or some other topic I want to talk about. Because I will say that was a raw live opinions, but I did have fun talking about the whole GT thing. Oh my gosh, thank you, Stride. You're the goats. Oh my gosh. Bruh. Alright. So, I could even post it here. Hold on, let me just post it. Actually, do I have it? Do I have it at my PC? I think I do. Oh, I don't. Okay, hold on. Let me just quickly get it real quick. So, the TLDR is that, yeah, you guys will get the official definitive explanation as to what's the deal with my avatar. So to you people still on here on the live stream, I appreciate it. But basically, when I joined Discord, I went into Red's Discord server, and at the time I just had a really cringy garbage Discord username. I already forgot what it was, but basically it just had it's like a typical, you know, Xbox username, like, you know, the typical cliche XX something awesome 157 XX type of thing. Is that type of energy. And obviously nobody would remember my name. I wouldn't expect them to. And somebody on the server in Red were giving me nicknames. And at first I didn't really like it. Not because like, oh, how dare they, but it was just more like, But the more eventually Red called me Numbers just because of the random numbers I had on my username. And the more I kept hearing it, at first I didn't really like, enjoyed it, but the more I kept hearing it, it just felt right. Something about it, like the energy of the name Numbers just felt right. And so the more I kept hearing it, the more I just try to like think about it through. And then I was like, actually, you know what? That name sounds so simple yet so effective as a username. And then the more I kept correlating to other aspects of like myself and then my energy on Discord, on the internet in general, blah, blah, blah. I was just like, you know what? That's my new username from now on. Because every single place I kept having create new usernames, they're just randoms. Like I never put any effort. I just put blah, 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 name 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like a bunch of random numbers and then just call it a day. But the Numbers was just so simple because I'm like, yeah, I can just use this username no matter where I go from now on. But then I was like, okay, well then I have the name, but what do I define myself as in terms of like the actual physical avatar, like a nice visual as to who I am. So like any typical trash garbage internet user as usual, just looked up anime girls on Google. And I just like, I think I just typed like anime girl Numbers. And then surprisingly, the first thing that popped up was an actual manga about anime girl that's literally called or titled Number Girl. And I was like, oh yeah, that works. And so I was like, all right, yeah, what a coincidence. All right, I'll do it. And then eventually, a few months, I think, later, I was like, actually, you know what? I want to look into this thing. Like, what was meant to be as like a no effort attempt. I was like, you know what? I want to see what's actually in this manga because I'm surprised there's a thing called Number Girl. And oh, did I not? Oops. Hold on, let me actually redo it again. And after reading the entire thing, I was like, bruh. I was literally so enamored by this manga. I was like, this is literally Numbs energy right here. And so I just decided, you know what? This is officially my mascot. I don't care what anyone has to say. I don't care. Nobody knows who this character is. I do not care. From now on, this is my avatar, my official avatar, until further notice. Did it work? Hold on. Oh, that's why it didn't work. Okay, oops. Let me try it again. Hold on a sec. There you go. Alright. Yeah, so here's the manga. And as you can tell, it's clearly the main character. And obviously what would become my actual avatar. Obviously I added the shades in just because I thought, why not? Just distinguish it from the actual character a little bit. And that's how I got the character. And surprisingly, what I found more hilarious is the fact that it's the first time I've ever used an actual female avatar. Like every other instance I've like role played, quote unquote, it's always just a male character just because I felt more connected. But for some reason, I was just like, bro, she is just Numbs energy through and through. And I was like, you know what? Yes. This is forever my my avatar. And I definitely recommend it. It's kind of like a gag panel. Yeah, it's like what's it called? A 4-comic manga? I know there's like a term for it. Yeah, a 4-coma manga. There you go. It's very like the main synopsis is that these girls are all clones, and they distinguish each other from the number in their eye. So that's why they're literally called Number Girl. They all look the same, but the only difference is that the number in their eyes. And there are a bunch of high school girls who go to a specific school where they are taught to be they're literally learning to become productive member of society. They're like just typical average common people, and their main objective in terms of like doing that is to separate themselves to be their own individuals, because obviously they're clones. They all act very similar to one another, so they all need to develop their own personalities, their own likes and dislikes. That's why you notice their difference in hairstyle and whatnot. And bro, I'm telling you, if y'all want to understand how much energy they are when it comes to being high school girls, they literally are like the most typical high schoolers you could ever ask for. They're lazy. They don't want to do homework. They question their teacher. They sometimes make fun of their teacher. They have the most like indifferent response ever. Like I remember in one panel, a kid was lost, and rather than being an average like person to be like, "Oh, what's wrong, kid? You lost. You're missing. You can't find your mom. Here, let me help you." I think they were like, "Oh, look at this kid. He's alone. He got lost. What an idiot." Or I think it was something like, "Oh, let's play being lost as well with this kid." It's like, bro, like they literally have no common sense. They have to develop their common sense. They have so much like high school numbers energy. It's not even funny. It's like relatable for the most like typical anime YouTuber or like typical internet user. It's so good. And so because of how like unintentionally good they are at roasting everybody, from the common people to even their own teachers and stuff, I'm just like, bro, they're literally me but in anime girl form. So I'm like, you know what, yeah, just throw in the shades, then that's perfect. That's me. So yeah, that's the basic backstory as to why I have Number Girl as my avatar, because it's so relatable. I'm 1-to-1 with them. It's not even funny. Now, obviously, I personally developed my own backstory as to how I define numbers. Eventually, if I can, afford developing my own actual character, like original character design, I'll separate it to be my actual intentional avatar. But as of now, this is who I personify as at the moment. So, hope you like that explanation. Oh, wait, whoops. Wrong one. But there you go. What is the anime you hate the most? Oh, who is my... I think I had an answer, but I kind of forgot. Well, nah. Shoot, I actually don't know. I know I had one at first, but... Bruh, that is beautiful. That is beautiful right there. Heck yeah. Oh, that's another reason why I intentionally chose that's That's another reason why I intentionally chose the number girl as my avatar, is because I don't know why, but there's just something about their like dumbfounded face, like their chibi face, that I find adorable yet relatable. Like for some reason, that chibi face is like is the energy I always wish I can like is that the word I'm looking for? Exude every time on the internet. I don't know why. Like, I'm sure you guys get what I mean. But, hold on. Let me just... Like, it's that weird, smug, chibi face that I'm just like, yeah, that's me. Like, it's that I don't care, but I do care at the same time. And y'all can't change what I feel because I don't care. Like, I know y'all guys understand what I mean. So that's why I'm just like, it's that perfect balance of exactly what I was looking for in terms of a avatar. I can't find a great example, but yeah. But I hope that explains it. Whoops. All right. I'm still trying to think. What is my least favorite anime? I know I had a few examples, but I can't really think of one at the moment. I know for a fact, Tokyo Ghoul, was it? That was definitely up there. Like, gosh dang. That really just... Like, I think the first few episodes was good. But after that, it was just... Oh, it just went downhill in terms of quality. I haven't read the manga yet, and... The sad thing is, I kind of wish... Like, you would think that the manga being done... And then the anime coming out later, that will allow the author to be like, hey, let me reevaluate my own work and maybe redevelop certain aspects that didn't work to make the anime even better. Because I feel like that's the best way to learn from your mistakes as the writer and improve upon something that's already existing to allow the fan base that read the manga to, you know, feel more satisfied with the anime. But no, the anime was just terrible. It was so bad. I know there was another example I had. I know there's a few isekais that I'm just like, oh gosh, this is so terrible. I can't really think of a good example. But yeah, that's probably one of my main go-tos, I guess. Hope that answers it, at least. Maybe I should go back into Tokyo Ghoul by power scaling it. Maybe reevaluate my enjoyment of it. Or maybe it would just make me hate it even more. I don't know. Oh, man. I know there was another one I try to think of, but I can't remember it for the life of me. You know, Tokyo Ghoul was better when it was more grounded and less militaristic. I think it could have worked. I mean, do I think the execution was great? Heck no. But the militaristic aspect could have definitely made the story good if it was handled more better. But yeah. Okay, well, I know. Actually, hold on a sec. Let me try to. Okay, well, first let me just put actual music going on. Okay, there you go. All right. Anyways, sorry. I had to keep blowing my nose just so not get in on the on the mic. Um. Let me see if I can actually do it on stream. If there's a very good one, at least. Is there... it's gonna be hard for me to try to attempt, but it might be worth it. So, as appreciation to everybody who's still here with me, would y'all be willing to see a preview of the thumbnail for my next video that's gonna come out? I still have yet to actually make the thing, but I can definitely make it now and at least give you a preview as to what it could look like, or what the final version is gonna look like. Alright, I'll definitely, yeah, I think that's a great way to end it off. I can definitely show you guys a little preview of the thing. If I can do it correctly, of course. Hopefully I can also do it properly. Am I gonna keep, I probably can keep it. I don't mind it. That's something I wasn't even sure. Well, for one, I'm gonna make sure it's not copyrighted. That's why I'm trying my best to not to allow the YouTube gods get mad at me or whatever. But I mean, to be fair, you guys aren't gonna be missing much in terms of these things. I know there will be in the future streams that I do want to keep up if they want to see the full version. But since this specific stream was just meant to be a test as to how whether my computer can handle the live stream on YouTube and stuff, that not to mention me being sick, that's definitely gonna ruin the quality a bit. Stuffy Numbs sounding like an idiot as usual. And hey, if anybody who's already subscribed wants to see what they've missed, then hey, that'll be neat for them to actually go through a bit. Maybe it'd be like, oh, hey, he streams now. That's cool. I'll be ready for the next one when he's actually live. And as long as my mic is not that loud or too quiet that you can't even hear me, then it's probably not worth keeping a video of like a 2.5 hour long video that has absolutely unhearable content. It's like, great job. Great job, Numbs, you know? Yeah, I think that works. All right. All right. Anyways, now let me actually get onto the freaking thumbnail and see what I can get. Yeah, hopefully whenever I stream, I'll definitely feel much better. And probably have a better game plan as to what is actually going to be streamed rather than just being a chill outs. Which, I mean, I don't mind, but I like to make sure you guys are also being entertained and also making sure I'm interacting with you guys. I don't want to just be radio silence the entire time. Jeez. Let's see here. Alrighty. Oh, shoot. Did I not do it correctly? Strive versus Numbs live debate? Nah. There is no debate when I already won. I already won just by existing. I have an idea next stream. If you have been telling Danny to do a computer versus computer tournament. I mean, can I do that? I mean, unless I can play it on the computer, maybe, but that's gonna be kind of hard for me to do. I have considered doing. I have considered doing like an entire how would you say? How would you say it? Like a marathon of like playing Dragon Ball. yeah, like me trying to do like let's plays, like live stream let's plays of every Dragon Ball game. I'm not sure if I can or if I will, because there will be some games that I literally don't have the games or even the money to be buying these things, like Fighters and Xenoverse 2 and stuff. There will be obviously the classics that I'll be able to play maybe with an emulator, but some of the other games where I'm just like, and also I don't want to bore people if it's not really working or feel like it's not as interactive as it should be, so who knows. Of how make a Yamcha video of how I buff him, like from a writing perspective, like how I would make him like written better in terms of power and stuff. That could work, maybe. Maybe, I'm not saying it will, but you never know. It's definitely gonna be kind of a specific thing. Better writing and booking his characters' fights in the series. That's true, yeah. Sorry, my process is a bit slow on the thumbnail. Don't worry, I'm getting to it. Alright, there you go. And then this thing. Maybe this way. But it's not working the way I want it to. Is this how it works? What's your opinion on the new Dragon Ball series that's coming out? Oh boy, what do I think about that new series? Got the idea from he did one for TN. Oh, that's pretty cool. Hi, Vey. What do I think of that new series? Oh, man. More like, why don't I think about that series? Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things where I just really don't even want to talk about. I'm gonna be honest. I really don't even want to talk about that thing anymore. Maybe it's this one? It's not working as I wanted to. Sorry, let me just take a break from my thumbnail. Sorry. Alright, so what do I think about the actual thing? So I'm gonna be honest, I'm not looking forward to it at all. That's just the honest truth. I'm not looking forward to it at all because I know that people are like, oh, you gotta give it a shot, or oh, but the art, or oh, it's not what you're looking for, you're expecting, but that doesn't matter, it's new content. It's like, okay, first of all, how is it not a valid argument for it to be something I was hoping for that was not what we wanted? Like, who in the world asked for it? That's what I want to know. I want someone to genuinely raise their hands and be like, oh yeah, this is exactly what I was asking for. Like, the good minority is going to be, a good majority is going to be like, no, we did not ask for this at all. Secondly, I don't care how good it looks in terms of animation, because there's so many other series that looks good animation-wise, but it's absolute garbage in terms of writing. So that argument of, oh, well, it looks good, it's like, I don't care. That's not a good explanation as to why I should like it. Just because it looks good doesn't mean it will be good. The Battle of Gods and Resurrection of Resurrection of Frieza had good art. That doesn't mean people liked it. People still have issues with it. So that's why I'm just like, well, what happened to those series, you know? And then what is the next thing I was gonna say? I don't know. I just don't find it original at all, because everything you can think of that was presented in that trailer was already done before. And I just don't see why it needs to be revisited. I mean, I can understand it could be revisited, but for better, but nothing from that trailer really sold me anything about how good it's going to be at all. I just literally did not see anything within that trailer where I was like, yes, this is going to be hype. Unless there's someone on the chat that can prove me otherwise, I just don't see it. So, sorry if you wanted me to have another opinion, but no. Hold on. Okay, good to know. All right, it's getting there. The finally the thumbnail's getting there. Oh, dang. Jeez. What the heck? Okay. I see. Ooh. Ooh, that is so good, though. You know what? Yeah. This is gonna be a, current this is gonna be a work in progress thumbnail. Yeah, I definitely, okay, yeah, here's the thing. I definitely want new stuff, but I want the new stuff to be executed, because the problem with Dragon Ball at the moment, or just in general, is that it never goes, it never, what's the word? It never has a satisfying conclusion with its concepts. Like, it always introduces something new, but it never goes beyond anything besides the initial premise of the concepts. Like, it never, like, I'm not saying it has to go into a 500 arcs just to finally use up all of its ideas, but at least I want the main concept to be good and satisfying. And a majority of the new content coming out, it just never is satisfying once it ends. Like the granola arc, the concept is great. That's why people like it conceptually. But the actual execution was just bad. And that's what people have problems with, is that yes, everyone likes the things in theory, but is the actual quality of the product good? The answer is no. So that's why there are people who like GT in concept, but people don't actually like what we end up getting. Like, every single time people is like, oh, well, GT is great because of Baby and the Shadow Dragons. But then very rarely, if at all, people are, I literally question, what about the first arc? The Dragon Ball hunting arc. I personally, as someone who did watch it, I love the planets they arrive in, but they never do anything about them. It's just a, hey, we're in this planet, and then just move on. That's it. They never go anything one step beyond the initial concept, and then that's it. And that's why I have an issue with, is that they always have this cool idea because of the cool factor, but they don't go beyond the initial inception of the idea. It's like, you know what? A great example. Look at all the transformations showed within Dragon Ball Super. Like Super Saiyan Rage. The concept is there. The idea, I like it. But the actual execution was terrible. Everybody, a majority of the fan base hated Super Saiyan Rage for Trunks. Or look at that Spirit Sword. It's like, yeah, obviously visually looks cool, but was it great for the story? No, a lot of people hated the climax of the Zamasu arc. So that's why it's always hard for me to be like, yeah, do I really have to like Dragon Ball Magic just because of the premise? No. I want to love it because of the overall development of the story or the idea, not just the idea itself. Because anyone can think of a good idea. It's whether or not the execution is actually good. That's why I keep saying, if it looks like garbage, it's gonna taste like garbage. And even if it looks delicious, it's still gonna taste garbage. So that's why I'm just like, it hasn't sold me on the concept. If it hasn't sold me on the concept, it's probably not gonna sell me on the execution. Anyways, guys, let me show you just a snippet of what is actually gonna. And if I know you're gonna be like, oh, well, it's kind of dark. And the answer is, yes. Oh. So, yeah, that's why I'm just like, nah. When the new anime comes out, the new series comes out, I'm not gonna really be watching it weekly. I'm not gonna keep up with it. It hasn't shown me a good reason as to why. So, no. If you are gonna watch it, then go right ahead. I don't care. It's just that me specifically, nah. Alright, I think that's good. Alright, let me just show you guys what I have in store for the next video. That is, of course, if it wants to pop up. There you go. You guys ready to see it? I got you. For a few dollars. Come on. I'm sure you guys got $1 to spare. Y'all thought. Y'all thought. Y'all thought I was gonna show it to you for free. Nah, bruh. Nope. I'm just kidding. Yeah, sorry, y'all. I mean, I was working on it, but now I don't know if I even want to show you guys, so I don't know, man. I'll just leave it in my computer, never to be seen until the actual video comes out, or you guys can give a bit of support to the boy. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Yeah, I hope you guys do enjoy this next video, because I feel like it's gonna be. I feel like it's probably gonna be a no duh type of thing, but at the same time, I feel like it's kind of obvious. But it's still, I just feel like it deserves its own video. Like, I feel like I have just enough new material to go over for people to appreciate it. So I hope that people do enjoy it. And the reason why because I remember in the poll I specifically said how I already chose who I was gonna work on first and then Android 21. So yeah, that's why I feel like this is the perfect video to start for my specials marathon, because it's definitely a great way for newcomers and for returning viewers to be like, oh, okay, he's now moving on from the movies to obviously something related to the DBZ, but something different as well. So again, I hope you guys enjoy it when it comes out. But yeah, I was legit gonna show you guys, but sorry. Unless someone wants to donate a nice dono for a nice preview, then I'll definitely show it. But otherwise, y'all are gonna have to wait. I like to at least develop some level of excitement for my videos. But yeah, I definitely am planning and hoping that this video comes out soon. Within a month's time, probably sooner. Just depends on how well things play out, but yeah. But we'll just have to wait and see. Super had his moments. The majority of the Goku Black is great. The more Saga's alright. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's just, I was always under the camp of execution, not conception. That's just the basic like understanding of my thought process. Any idea can be great. It just depends on how well executed it is. Because any idea can sound stupid or amazing, but the execution can be great or terrible, despite having all the ingredients. Because like you can literally have the best chefs, the best dish or ingredients, all the time you need, all the material or resource to make the, say, a cake or whatever. And even though on paper it was supposed to be a great meal, it ended up being a terrible dish. So same applies to movies, animes, games, comics, TV, music, etc. Even videos. So yeah, I'm not really too personal when it comes to my thoughts on the actual quality of the story, since obviously the whole point of the scaling is just the main focal point. But if it were to be if it were focused on a writing perspective, I definitely would be more critical. I do have my sarcasm, or my like, yeah, I do emphasize a bit of my sarcasm about how weird this writings can be for some of the movies, but they're not the main focus for those videos. So yeah. Streaming for 2 hours, not that bad. I could stream a bit longer, but I'm definitely going to be heading out so I can focus on my project. And especially since I'm still trying to recover from my stupid sickness, so I'll be streaming just for a little bit longer. But yeah, thanks everybody for those who are staying with me for this entire test run. Da, 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 da. Oh, yeah, you can get that out of the way. Okay. Yeah. Oh man. I think I'm although I'm very excited to do these this specials marathon, I'm hoping you guys are looking forward to the other series I'm gonna look into, and I hope you guys do give me a chance to talk about these characters, because I think me specifically, this is more so a me thing, like my personal goal, but I feel like, especially when it comes to, well, not just power scaling in general, but I feel like just the quality of a characterization is it's starting to become, I'm not sure if it's just me, it probably just is, but I feel like for most fan bases, or not most fan bases, a lot of them are very appreciative of the small details, but I feel like especially the major, like the big hitters, people tend to overlook the more like minor obscure characters that they're like underwhelmingly critical and harsh towards them, when they don't really realize how more thought out they are. And I know I'm overhyping it for one specific character, but I really am just hoping that no matter what, it's gonna be an eye-opening for the characters that I might plan on doing. But who knows? Yeah. Yeah, I'll be out in about 10 minutes, so I'll definitely be I don't think I'll be streaming I might consider streaming what was it? This upcoming Friday, if I'm feeling motivated. I'm not sure if I will. I might, maybe just for a little bit, maybe not 2 hours long, maybe just for an hour or half an hour, but at least a little bit. But otherwise, yeah. So thank you everybody for staying this long. I'm very grateful for the support, especially for my videos. And especially for the enthusiasm. I'm happy that just hearing you guys willing to hear out my takes on certain aspects of Dragon Ball or whatever. It's definitely going to be a fun new chapter, I guess, for my channel and see where things are going to go. Hopefully next stream I'll definitely have a better planned out stream, maybe something more interactive. But we'll just have to wait and see, of course. And hopefully the lag is less of an issue next time, because I realize that has been a problem. At least, unless that's on my side only, but whatever. You know, I just realized I was gonna go back and thinking of like what are the things we were talking about, but yeah, I know that I could technically do both. I can do both a live stream of the villain placement and also an actual video. That might actually work better. So that might actually be something worth attempting. I've also considered doing a live reaction, like a live debunk of my own videos, because not only would people appreciate acknowledging the flaws in my own videos or just the overall quality of the videos themselves, but also include certain things I've missed out towards saying in the videos and so on. So, yeah. But we'll just have to wait and see. Or maybe, oh man, yeah, that's why I definitely need to get. I'm still considering if I want to. Gosh dang, so loud, jeez. Maybe I can also do. I mean, I don't want to do live reactions of things I've never watched, but I could also like have my own personal opinions included for specific scaling videos, or I don't know, or maybe that can be dono goals. Just have people be like, hey, do you guys want me to watch this video, then reach this goal, and then just actually react to it. But who knows? Alright. I think it's time for us to end the stream, because I definitely want to go back and to start doing my video. And because, oh, I'm very much motivated to do it. So, here's hoping to that. But yeah, thank you everybody so much for those who were even able to pop up just for a little bit. Thank you very much for the support again. Maybe next stream I'll definitely hint at the upcoming video, but we'll just have to wait and see. Just saying. But yeah, thanks everybody. I hope you guys have a great day. Happy Hallows Day. Happy Hollow Day. have fun, everybody. Toodles.